Hey everyone, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Jewel Ifeguni, and I am living fully in my purpose, okay? Period. So what does that mean for me? That means not staying behind the scenes. Y'all about to be seeing a whole lot of this, and continuing to just grow in my career holistically, where I'm in a position where I can still use media and tech to really build an inclusive world. So growing as a games producer, if you know what I'm saying, we'll get to that, as well as growing as a film producer too. So super excited. For those of you who don't know, I recently just left Microsoft after 5 years. 3 years as a full-time, 2 years as an intern. And there has been so much growth, so much I've learned being at Microsoft, so much I've learned being founder and CEO of UMatter Studios as an entrepreneur, and there's just been a lot of learning. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about how I got into the tech industry and intersected that with media. Also, the side effects of my journey and being a Black woman in this industry. And then lastly, some hints about what my next steps are. So let's get into it. So how did I get into the tech industry? So I was very fortunate that my high school offered a computer science course. It was AP Computer Science. So I took it senior year, and I was very fortunate to have Mr. Webb, a Black man, as my teacher. And shout out to Mr. Webb, like, you're dope. And that already helped affirm that I belonged in this industry. Then I applied for a scholarship to study computer science at University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Shout out to my alumni. And while I didn't get that specific scholarship, I was actually able to get into the program associated to it, which was Google's Computer Science Summer Institute. So I was part of the 2015 class in Chicago, where we learned various coding languages. I got to see the various different roles in tech, and it really helped shape that foundation for me. So going into university, had this confidence, and about 3 months in was when recruiters, well, a couple months even before that, regardless, recruiters came in from Microsoft. And because of what I knew, I was like, well, they have to be offering internships for freshmen. So I was able to meet Maggie at the event, and she helped give me my big break. Fast forward, I was able to interview, and that's how I landed getting my first internship at Microsoft within 3 months of college as a software developer intern under the Explorer program. So that was great. And one thing I will say is, while I accomplished that, right before I got the confirmation that I got the internship, I got my rude awakening on what it was really like to actually be a Black woman in tech, or what people would think. Because I'll never forget it. It was my freshman computer science class. I'm in this group with all these dudes. Half of them had been in the same class with same computer science summer institute I was in. And I was like, okay, it's gonna be cool. It comes down to job assignments, and the guy that's my friend assigns every single person a role. So you code this, you code this, you code this. And then when he got to me, he was like, you can draw the logo. So as you can see, folks already came out the gate assuming because I was a Black woman, I did not have the capabilities to be in this industry, but I think he's pretty wrong. But with that said, that also is what was the basis of inspiring me to start my own media company, UMatter Studios, because I wanted to build a world where everyone sees, advocates, and truly believes that you matter, based off just making sure I'm creating that content through media and tech. And so fast forward, I was able to intern at Microsoft. At the end of that internship, I was able to build a game called #Queen that was like the inspiration for starting UMatter Studios originally as a game studio. And then as it had its various iterations through gaming, virtual reality filmmaking, which enabled me to become an award-winning filmmaker. Also through my career, I was able to wear various hats too. So I was able to work on teams that were deeply technical. When I got into full-time, I was able to work in the DEI org for some time. And then most recently, I was a technical PM at Mojang Studios. And I do want to give a shout out to that specific experience, because I really do believe everything I learned in that role, which was no joke. Let me tell you something. It was like, in my opinion, because of the teams I worked with, it was like taking Calc 3 like every day. No joke. That really did build the foundation I needed to be the games producer and films producer I aspire to be. But it's definitely been a journey of really like just seeing a lot in the industry, but also balancing that and running a company, having 12, 14 to 16 hour work days, just constantly grinding, all of that. But one thing I've learned is in the midst of like grinding, I've been running this whole time. I've been running since 2015. And the side effect of running and being tunnel vision is that you don't enable yourself to really have that self-love. So when I say that, I don't mean the kind of self-love where it's like you look in the mirror and it's like, I don't love myself. Like anyone knows me, put me in front of a mirror, I'm like, hey, what's up, girl? Okay, like we got it. No, but it's more so, are you taking care of your well-being? Are you surrounding yourself with the right people? Are you taking care of yourself from sleep and food and all the basic things? You know, even as early as college, because I was so tunnel vision, I would entertain the most toxic friendships. And because I was so focused, I didn't really see the warning signs. Or I also didn't listen to my gut as much, right? Like there were a lot of partnerships or collaborations that I would entertain that weren't really the best. And because I didn't have the confidence in myself and I ignored my gut, and also, I think I was listening to so many different voices of advice, and shout out, mentors are great, but I definitely think make sure you are still listening to yourself. Like I entertained partnerships or collaborations that weren't the best for me or my business or my goals because I was so tunnel vision and I ignored those signs. But I also think like the side effects of all of that was also looking at, okay, I'm not the most present for the ones I love. Like anyone that knows me, I'm that busy friend. I'm busy, like schedule time to hang out. And I really do want to change. That's kind of why I made these changes so I can live fully my purpose and have a more full life. Is I know I could have been better showing up for friends and making time to spend time with them. And those are the changes I'm making. But also, I do want to be very clear, especially to folks that are balancing a lot of things and driven towards their goals. There's a difference between making time for your friends and also people that are your friends or claim to be your friends and do not believe or support where you're going. I will tell you, I've had to make necessary updates in my friend groups because of those reasons. So make sure you still are prioritizing people that support you, because the right people that support you will recognize why you're balancing your time. It's just don't overdo it, because life is too short and you don't want to regret not spending time with your loved ones. But those were like the side effects of being tunnel vision. But also another thing is like being a Black woman in tech also means being a unicorn and operating in an ecosystem that's not meant to support you. And while I'm grateful for all the support I've had, like I've experienced being constantly underestimated or being expected to operate beyond what I was being valued at. And these are things that aren't isolated in my experience, but I'm saying this because I believe being part of the 2% is my obligation to be able to provide this opportunity. So then for other people that look like me, I just want to let you know, like, you are seen, you are heard, but you are also valued. And I believe that if we are such large consumers of tech and games, we not only deserve to be in this industry, it is our right to like thrive in this industry. So next steps, super excited. I don't want to announce too much, but I will say living fully in my purpose means, like I said, really focusing on y'all seeing this. So I will have a podcast/show coming out pretty soon. So I will leave details for you to subscribe to that now. And also growing in my games production career. I'm super excited to be joining this dope team. Hints I'll drop before I actually make the actual announcement after this video. It's a Black-owned company, and that's already period, okay? When we even think about our representation, it just reminds me why I got into this industry. If you're listening to this, just know that you got this, and I hope I am living proof that you can be part of the small percentage and still thrive in this industry. So I'm committed to expanding this and continuing to grow in the gaming and tech industry. When I think back, I like congrats myself because I feel like I did that. You know, I've been able to be an award-winning filmmaker. I've been able to win multiple awards recognizing my works in entrepreneurship and impact. I've been able to host multitudes of Microsoft-sponsored events, and I've been able to build beautiful friendships by traveling over the world, like at Cannes Film Festival or attending conferences. At the same time, I haven't been immune to what it's like to be a Black woman in the tech industry. Like, for example, colleague, all because I was just asking about information, about promotions, tell me I would never measure up. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I think that person was pretty wrong, right? Anyways, I am super excited for what's to come, and I'm super grateful to have learned the lessons I've learned being in tech and gaming, being at Microsoft, being founder and CEO of YouMatter Studio. Stay tuned for what we have next. But I also know there's so much work to be done, and I'm inspired by the growing representation we have in this industry. So if you're listening to this, you got this, stay with it, and keep being fabulous. All right, until next time, bye.